Alright everyone, here we are with ticker symbol HYLN, Hyliion Holdings Corp. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And we're going to jump into this a little bit early due to the fact that based off of how the chart is looking, if volatility does get a little bit wild in the next hour before the market closes or later in after market hours, we may have to relook at this, but I think that this is going to be kind of still around this area, might pull itself up a little bit higher or a little bit more on that sideways movement unless there's a dramatic dip, right? But let's see this. So yesterday I was talking about how the MACD was already doing that curvature here that we could see and pulling itself back up. And we were waiting to see if it was going to do a slight pickup right before and fall, which we kind of saw here happen, and it slightly fell. And my question was, will it actually continue to do that again? And we needed to watch it very closely. If it continued, it was going to go up and it was going to reach over the midway point, and we wanted to see these bars get darker and darker and larger. Now, something interesting is happening here due to the fact that it is getting lighter as the hours were going by, and then now it's getting darker again. So the volume here is actually going downwards, but the MACD is showing a darker bar, which it could actually start another rally of momentum. So we want to watch this closely, because now we could end up seeing the stock actually rise up with the MACD a little bit more. We already broke slightly the midway point. We're above it right now. We're slightly above the 50-day moving average, which was the most important point. That's the point that I really wanted us to focus on. The MACD is great and it gives us indications of where it's going. And also this indicator here, which is a lot closer to the stock. I was talking about how volume was these last couple of hours, and it was looking like the last candlestick here had about a volume of 22,000 shares, and it was about to touch that indicator again. Once it actually kind of lifts off from it, I wanted to see if it was going to do a small rise like it did here, and when you look at it, it certainly did. But right now we just broke slightly through it again. If the bulls can break through the 50-day moving average and stay above it as they have, because they're currently sitting at 1658, and they can pull away from this indicator again, right, and actually go above it in the upward direction, I could see this rising probably $2 to $3 more. Because when you see the history of the chart, when this happened and we're about to break through and hopefully see this continue in that direction until we see actually the top of the hill, which is what kind of happened here, you can see that it went from $16 and some change to almost $17 and some change. And then that was the small representation that happened here, but it didn't cross the midway point. So I want you guys to have an idea. And then when we see this midway point and this rise, it was from about $18 all the way up to almost $21, $20 and some change. So there's room here for $2 to $3 to appear if the momentum continues, and it could probably even be steeper and higher than that starting from this point forward. I know a lot of people have been talking about the warrants. We need to wait for those to finish up, that those have been happening, and that it would last until the 21st. But I think the turnaround is slightly starting, or this could be a bull trap, like they call it, right? That it looks like things are getting better and it's going to level off and then actually slightly dip again. So we need to watch the MACD. If dark green bars continue, or even if they go dark and they go light and dark and go light, but this line here, right, continues upwards, it doesn't go back below it. That's what we want to watch for now, because then that means that this could be gaining that leverage, right, of the upward movement little by little, which is healthy. It shouldn't happen too fast. It's very healthy. But right now, most importantly, the 50-day moving average has been crossed, which is 1643. I want every single investor to be aware of that. And then I also want every single investor to pay close attention to the fact that we're at 1660 right now. It was at 1654. We're at 1660. It's showing both of those because that's how the time frame started, and that's where we're at right now. But the bulls are actually working their way through to newer highs. So if they could pull themselves up, right, and they can break through the resistance points that we're about to talk about. Stay away from the support. And this MACD continues this same trend, starting again, moving forward here. That would then indicate, and I apologize for all the lines, but my illustrations are bad too. My drawing sucks, but I hope you guys are getting the gist of it, that this will continue to work its way up. Hopefully it's not too steep, and if it is steep, it goes higher and higher like this one here. Now, what you want to watch for is the signal of the MACD showing there might be an end to that run, because that's when the slope starts to change direction and it's going downwards. And then these red bars will start to appear. So it's super, super important to watch this one closely. And just because that happens in the short term, it doesn't mean that there is no opportunity here, right? That, it's going back red, because if you're trying to play this one long term, these small movements now are not as important, but every single move counts to know what's going on and where it's going to go next. Because, the moment these appear, you can see the drastic change that it makes. You could see it. It does make a difference. This was way up here at 19 and it fell to 16. The next time it happened, they were at 17 and it fell to 15. So it's been taking away, shaving off $2 to $3 per time that this actually happens off the share price. And now when the green appears, it's only moving up, $2 to $3. And the most that it moved up was here. And you can see here how much trouble the bulls had to build that momentum to lead up to this happening here. Because you can see these are all green here, all those green bars, and look what was happening. They were fighting against the bears, and it took that much effort. And from this point forward is when the bulls started to appear and bring it back up, and that was all the hard work here. They were bringing it back up through here. So you want to watch always the bars, but this line is what's going to tell you where the direction of the stock is going most likely. And the closer it gets to the midway point, the closer you're getting to a breakout. So we're across the midway point. The question is, will the bulls of Hyliion be able to break out, or are the bears going to reappear? So let's move our resistance to its new location, and let's move our support to its new location. I want every single investor to keep these numbers in mind. Very important. So we're currently at 1659. This is live, right? There's still 30 minutes, 35 minutes left in the market, and it's going to be moving up and down. But support and resistance hasn't changed based off the chart. So we have here 1601. That's our support. If that gets broken through, this could be on its way to newer lows. And the next support level to watch is down here at 1536. I'd write that down. Super, super important to watch how the bulls and the bears are reacting and how it's behaving, right? The stock overall. But 1601 is your first support. You want to watch it closely and see how fast it goes towards it, or if it breaks through it, how quickly is it moving to newer lows, or are the bulls trying to reappear and bring this back up? Because right now the tug of war is on with the 50-day moving average to gain control. If we're below it, bearish territory. If we're above it, we're in bullish territory. So for the bulls to actually continue the momentum that they started here and bring this up to newer highs and break further into the MACD, they're going to have to break this resistance. This resistance is super, super important. 1719. 1719 needs to be broken through, turn into a support, so that the bulls can reach newer highs, new resistance levels, and start to pull further away from the 50-day moving average and get deeper into control over the stock right now in the chart overall. And as we could see, it just jumped up from 1659 to 1663. I believe that if they continue this, there could be a run. But the most important point right now to stay in bullish territory and move further up is 1719. So we got to watch this very closely. The MACD is showing indications of potential to have, that upward movement breakout anywhere between, from where it's at, $1 more to $2. From where it started, way down here at 15 and some change, it's going to be a breakout of about $2 to $3. We need to watch this closely. And as always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.